Hi everybody, in this video we're going to look at the Open menu where lots of the basic settings of the LYNX Whiteboard app can be found. You will always find it in the bottom left corner on whatever device you're using in this hamburger or stacker menu, and you can see it says Open menu. When you click on it, it brings up the following options. At the top we can actually look at our account that we're signed in with, and we can decide, are we going to manage our account? It will take us to the LYNX Cloud website. Do we want to sign out of this device that we're on, or do we want to sign out everywhere? We might have signed in on a Clevertouch board, for example, and we want to sign out because we've come away from that board. Also in there we have the options area. There's another video on this when we're setting up the screen for the first time, but there's the general area where we can sort out the language of the screen and check for updates. There's the font tab where we can set our default fonts for when we're using the screen. The screen and pens area where we can decide how our hand will behave on the screens when we're using them on a Clevertouch touchscreen, for example, and what happens if we actually use a two-ended stylus on the screen. The content area is where we can pick our bespoke locations when we want to open files or drag content into open files. And finally, the interface area where we can decide how we want to arrange the main toolbar and set our default pens in the pencil case. We also have the help area. Now, of the help options that we have here, there is a list of hotkeys that work in LYNX. So you can have a look at the hotkeys that work while you're preparing and the hotkeys that you have while you're presenting. But there's also help that you can apply for. So contact support, for example, is where you can go directly to our website and raise a support ticket if you think something's not working correctly in LYNX. Or if you just want to point out something you've noticed in LYNX, you can report an issue. This brings up a bar where we can put in a title for what we think our issue is, and then we can type in here what we think is happening. So I can say my slider won't move around the page, and then I can send it, and it goes directly to the LYNX developers, and they will investigate. You can even use that if you have a good idea for something that you'd like to see in LYNX, because they will add it to their list, and as things grow in popularity, it might move up their roadmap. Also in here, we have the ability to mess with the screen, so we can go full screen, and then of course exit full screen. And we can also turn on split screen. This is very useful. With split screen applied, we get the dashboard over here on the right, and we can pick another file to open on the other side. So if I open up my Pirates file here, so you can see I've now got 2 pages of this document open here, while I've got my 12 pages of this document open, and I've got all of the tools on both sides, whatever they are. So what that means is I could have 2 groups of people coming and using the screen at any time. Now I can also move things from one presentation into another very easily, as I've done there. So what's great about this is that it could be that I want to show 2 levels of work to differentiate in a lesson on the screen at the same time. Maybe I want a presentation on the right, and I want to be able to use pens to make notes on the other side as we're going. For whatever your reason, the split screen is a really good tool. My tip is set your page sizes to A4 so you can maximize the amount of space that you can display on the screen at the same time as well. When we want to turn off split screen, we just go back to the toggle on either side and say no split and apply, but you'll notice the Pirates document is there amongst the tabs that I've already got open, so it doesn't close anything down. We can also actually use this to close a presentation. So if we go to the Pirates and I decide I don't want that anymore, I can close it down and I don't need to mess around with it. Share and print, also very valuable. When we turn this on, it will collate all of our pages. So we can see down here there are 16 pages now that we can go through. And I can decide if I want to share these pages or print them. Sharing them involves creating a QR code. So I might decide, yes, I want to share the whole of these 16 pages and I want 4 pages or 4 slides on a page. And I can decide if I want them that way or that way. They look a bit bigger that way. That's great. So I can share. This then will create a QR code that you can scan, and you'll get a temporary browser page on your scanning device that will allow you to see those pages on your device. You can't save them as a PDF or anything. They're just on a temporary browser page, but you certainly can screenshot any of the pages if you want to keep them more permanently. So we're just waiting for that QR code to be created. The print options are much the same in that you again can choose how many slides you want to print on a particular page. Here we are, there's our QR code with a copy link that we can drop into an email and send to someone so they can click on it and download that temporary browser page as well. So if we go back into share and print, if I go to the print side here, you can see that we can decide which printer we're using, how many copies we want. Do we want a custom range? So I might not want all of them. I might only want up to page 8, 2 on a page. Let's go portrait. Do I want grayscale to save on ink? And then of course I can click print and I can see all of the pages as well as we go. We also have save as and save. Now save is for those documents that we've already saved once. I'm on an untitled document at the minute, so I do need to save as. And when I save, I've got to choose where am I saving, such as my documents, what the name is going to be for my document, and also do I want to save it as a LYNX file, which is the default, or as a PDF. I always advise save as a LYNX file so that you can edit it, but if you want a smaller version that you can email out to colleagues or to print out and things, then save a version as a PDF as well, and you just have to click save there. I won't do that now. And finally, we have our buttons for going to the dashboard so that we could open up another file or navigate to our LYNX Cloud website. And if we go back, we also then have the Start Presenting option so that we can go into presentation mode with our presentation annotation tools down here. So that showcases all of the tools that we have in the hamburger menu, the open menu there.